And this is the very popular fish in Korea because we enjoy the sashimi and the sushi. So they are one of the very big economic fish. So this is the cultured legacy. Actually, I collected from Japan and Korea. So I compared how they are different parasite numbers. So one fish are very heavily infected this part of the intestine look like this. As you can see, this is very abnormal intestine. So I checked them and cutting the intestine. I can see many acanthocephala live in the intestine. So here, uh, the body is in the lumen and the proboscis is out of the tissue. So they make a capsule like this surrounding their proboscis. But in this case, it's very difficult to take out their proboscis because it's very stubborn tissue. So sometimes you are not get a complete worm. So in this case, I have many worms. I can just successfully less than 10 acanthocephala. So you can see this is inverted proboscis. So when you study about acanthocephala, you need this kind of inverted one. So and this is the from the frozen fish in the Antarctic area. One Korean doctor asked all acanthocephala, but they were all dead. I tried to evaluate their proboscis. I failed. So as you can see, when fish are died and kept in the freezer, we cannot use them as a sample. So that's why I always recommend use the very fresh one. You can say this is male and this is female. They have a pill with the eggs like this. So when you see the two glands inside, you can say this is female. And usually the female is bigger than males. And this is a little bit different method compared to the platyhemis because we have to keep their proboscis. So we relax with the tap water overnight, and sometimes they don't came out the proboscis. So it case we have to change the tap water several times and keep 2 or 3 days more. And then if we fail, we cannot help. Just we have to finger cross they are came out. And usually they are came out, we add the fixative averted ones. So fixative are 10% MBF and the other 70 ethanol. So after this work, so this is I finished all the introduction of the fish parasite. So this is the what I'm doing after the collecting parasite. So I make the permanent slide first for the morphological observation. So I do the staining. I use the one acetylcholine staining, and other thing is the iron hematoxylin stain. So they are a little bit different. So, but usually I use this method because it's very easy to adapt. So after the when I observe all the features of the morphology, I draw ventral view and the lateral view because in the ventral view we cannot figure out how they are conformation. So I try my best all the time. So as much as possible, I make the many different view of the worms. So it can help other parasitologists to identify also. So also I drawing some detailed part of the parasite. So this is the ovarian complex. I draw like this, and I make the digitalized file to make the figure. And after that, also I did the molecular work and make a phylogenetic tree. So based on the morphology and the molecular data, I confirm what species is, and I present in the conference, and also I make the paper and submit to the journal. So this is the new species in the Pacific coast in the Korea. So I think we can discover many species actually in Bangladesh. They
Yes.
have a high potential for that. But for that, we need a very strong evidence for this is a new species. I want to say about the taxonomy paper with the full description because I searched the parasite record about our target fish, and I found many new species in the papers. But I checked the original description. It was very poor. I don't want to underestimate or blame other scientists, but as a taxonomist, if we work like this, it makes a very big confusion. So I want to make it right because they found one new cestode parasite, Senga jadhabi, species novus. It means new species from the Master Campbellus aromatus in the India, and it was 2015.
Zigzag.
So they try their best and they describe the where, but as you can see, I just capture from the paper. Can you see? Can you read? And how we can see the internal organs?
Yeah.
And scale bar, they don't have, they have, but it's also not good as a figure.
Yes.
The text also. So in this case, even they found new species, it's not accepted as a colleagues
Yes.
in the International Society of Parasites. So I found one. This is the database. Dr. Lee also mentioned about this. This is the world's biggest database for the marine species. So when you find some species, you can enter this website and you write down the species or genus or any taxa name, and then you can find how many species, how many taxa belong to them. So here, Senga. I found the Senga genus, and you can see just a few species. And I couldn't see Jadhabi. So it means they proposed new species, but it means it's not accepted as a new species. So I think this is very sad story. So we have to make it right as a new species. So if we can find the same morphology species, we can do the work and we can edit the sequence so we can make a final decision. Oh, this is weird new species. So here the author made the key to the species of the genus Senga. Here you have many Senga species, but here you can see not all the species are accepted. So this is the situation happen. So thank you very much. And actually, we today after the section we try to dissect